Hey guys, welcome to Flow and Ground. My name is Jay. This is going to be a 1 hour and 15-minute class. In terms of props, if you have a block at home, I recommend you get a block. If you do not, try to get a couple of pretty heavy-duty, thicker books because we're going to be doing some calf stretches today, some calf and hamstring stuff. So if you have those things, go ahead and grab them. Like a blanket would probably work if you didn't have anything else. A couple of blankets would be fine. So just go ahead and grab either a block, a couple of thick books if you have those, or a couple of blankets or anything you think you might be able to use in place of those. Because we're going to stretch out the calves, hamstrings, and do a lot of back of the leg work today. We're also going to start sitting. You can always do lotus. I'm just doing my crisscross applesauce position. That's fine too. You can do bound angle if you like. That's a good way to start too if you want to feel a little bit more even. In fact, I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and start like that. You can also kneel. So if you like to sit on something, the same props I just mentioned that you grab, you can always start sitting on those. It's totally fine. Just get whatever goodies you think might work best for you. So hopefully you've grabbed all of those things and you're situated back on your mat and you're ready to get started, which is what we're going to do now. So go ahead and come into the position of your choice, kneeling, sitting, bound angle, whatever it may be. Go ahead and start with your hands, palms up on the legs. It can be on the knees, on the thighs, anywhere. Just have those thumbs, those hands, palms up, and let the fingers kind of curl in and relax. Sitting up nice and tall, go ahead and close your eyes and just take a few minutes to kind of center yourself, ground yourself, and get your mind and your body ready to shift into a yoga practice. So see if you can let go of distractions, worries in your mind. And bring your mind right in to the now, to this moment, and see if you can keep your mind and your body connected together through the whole rest of the class. The mind sometimes likes to wander off. So see if you can just notice that wander and bring your mind right back into the body, into the breath, into this moment in time. It's a discipline. Like anything else, so don't beat yourself up if your mind wanders. Our minds like to do that. It's just what they do. So more than half the battle is noticing when they start to roam off or noticing the roam and then just letting go of whatever they're hitched onto and coming right back. Focusing on your breath is one of those things that really helps keep you present in your body. So now that you've set aside the worries, the distractions, just start to kind of bring yourself into the space by noticing things in the space. For example, notice the walls in the room where you are. Notice the other objects in the room. Notice where you are in relationship to those objects. You can feel the subtle energetic currents in the room. Maybe you hear stuff outside the room, outside the space you're in. That's okay too. And notice the contact points between your body and the floor. And just take a moment and check in with physical sensation in your body. Notice what's going on a physical level. If there are any places you need to be a little bit mindful of, keep that somewhere in the back of your mind. Just really taking the time to notice how your body is feeling on a physical level right now in this moment. And not deciding if the answer that you get is good or bad, right or wrong. And then check in with your body on an energetic level, your subtle energetic body, that kind of low-level hum, those currents that move through your body. Just check in with those. Notice how that feels. Notice if you have any places that maybe you're not feeling that hum as much. Maybe you have some blocked spots, some spots that you're not feeling as well. Maybe you have some spots that you're feeling more. So just kind of notice those things and just file it away somewhere. Again, observing without judgment, without criticism. And then check in with your mind. And using your mind's eye, your mental focus, start to notice your breathing, your breath, as it moves through your body. Just notice your inhales, your exhales, see if they seem nice and long and smooth and even. You want a nice long measured inhale and a nice long measured exhale, instead of a big gulp of air. And see if you can allow your exhale to really finish, moving all the way to empty. That's where we tend to rush our breath. When we're stressed or nervous, we tend to chop off the exhale and rush into the next inhale. And so see if you can really allow your exhale to finish before you move into the next breath. And that inhale is starting low in the belly. Feel the whole belly expand in every direction. So we think of the belly as just being in front, but really you want to breathe into the sides of the hips, the low back, down into the pelvic bowl, and up a little bit into the diaphragm. So feel that expansion in every direction. Breathing into the lowest part of the spine, every direction. And the exhale is just a gentle little compression, squeezing all the air out of your body. And just take a few more breaths like this, focusing on the quality of your breath. And one more breath here. And at the bottom of that exhale, when you're totally empty, go ahead and turn the hands, palms down onto the knees. We're going to do a couple of reset breaths. So I want you to inhale, shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale through the mouth with a big sigh, all the way out. 2 more times like that. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. All the way to empty. 1 more time, big breath in. And big sigh, all the way out. And go ahead and take those hands, fingertips behind you. Bring the knees up, wherever your, whatever your leg position was, go ahead and bring the feet in front and have the legs maybe a little bit wider than hip width apart. And I want you to go ahead and drop the knees all the way to one side. If you're sitting up on something, that's fine. You can stay here if it feels better to come off and just sit flat on the floor. That's all right too. So knees go one way, and your gaze goes over the opposite shoulder. And when you're ready, slowly inhale through center. And same thing other way. So I'm kind of adjusting myself on my blocks so I don't go flying off. Feel free to do the same. So knees drop one way, head goes the other. And sometimes I'll mirror and sometimes I'll forget to mirror. So just remember, as long as you're keeping track of either doing what I'm doing or the opposite of what I'm doing, it's fine. As long as you're making sure you're hitting both sides. And I'll try to get my head on straight so I can mirror correctly. And come back to center. Once you get back to center, go ahead and take the soles of the feet together if you haven't already. And from here, we're gonna inhale, take the arms overhead, and exhale, take your right hand to your left knee, and getting a nice, long, tall spine on your inhale first. As you exhale, you're just gonna look to the side if you wanna minimize torque on your spine, or you're gonna turn and look behind you. So remember, this is a warm-up, easy little twist. So kind of make sure that you're not using your hands to get a big crank in the spine. You're just kind of gently twisting, massaging the organs, massaging all those muscles in and around the waist, the core, up and down the spine. Next breath, I want you to feel that inhale. Start right at the base of your spine, at the tailbone, and feel that inhale move all the way up the spine. Getting a little bit of length and space through each vertebra as that inhale moves all the way up. And exhale when you're ready, and feel that exhale move back down the spine, softening, releasing any tension, relaxing any feelings of being rigid or locked all the way down that spine. Next inhale, you're going to come through center, take the hands up, and exhale, move the other way. So left hand to right knee. Same thing here. Remember, you don't have to get a big crank. So you can look to the side, especially if you have bone density issues and or some stuff going on in your back and you really don't want to do a big crank. Then just make this a very simple little easy twist looking to the side. Everybody else, if you have more space and it's more comfortable for you to move a little bit deeper into the twist, you can turn and look across the back shoulder if your hand is behind you. So remember, the inhale is always about getting that length and space, and the exhale is when you turn and look behind you. And when you're ready, imagine that inhale starts at the base of the tailbone, moves all the way up that spine, creating space, lengthening, all the way up to the top of the head. And then your exhale is going to move all the way back down the spine, softening, releasing any feelings of being locked or stuck. Coming all the way back down to that tailbone where we started. Inhale, take the arms overhead, reach up tall, and exhale. This time, take the fingertips behind you. Get that last little bit of lift. So remember, you're not just lifting the front ribs forward, you're lifting the back ribs too. So remember, getting that lift through the back and the front ribs. As you break, keep the chin in close to the body, kind of pull the shoulder blades together, look up. Stretching all along the front of the neck, down into the collarbones. And keeping the shoulders down and pulling the shoulders down gives you space for your, so you're not crunching the back of your neck, which is important too. And slowly inhale, come forward. And when you get forward, go ahead and drop the legs to one side and just carefully push off if you're sitting on something, or move over onto your hands and knees. So once you get on your hands and knees, just take your props off to the side and just take a moment to kind of adjust yourself on your mat where your hands are approximately shoulder width apart. So find a position that works best for you. There are no hard and fast alignment rules to the extent that they don't work for you. So approximately shoulder width apart with the hands, same with the knees and the hips. You just want to have a sense of alignment that works for you. So the hard and fast alignment cues, in my opinion, are not necessarily the same for everyone. So I want you to find the alignment that feels best in your body, that works best for you. Once you're here, you can tuck the toes under and kind of pull traction forward, looking straight ahead, or you can take the eyes up, moving into cow. As you exhale, flatten the feet, and move. So you can always stay in a neutral position if you want to avoid forward flexion if you have bone density issues. Everybody else can kind of arch and move up into cat. And just move back and forth, inhaling forward and exhaling back. And you can also play with the distance between your hands and your knees. So if something feels like, if you feel jammed up coming into your cow, then make some adjustments and see what feels best for you.
Maybe you take the hands a little bit forward, maybe you take them a little bit back. You can play around
With the placement of the hands and knees. Matching movement and breath, couple more. Remember, you can always stay in that neutral spine
instead of moving into cat.
And one more time. Inhaling into that cow, stretching the front line of the body, and exhaling, moving to the back.
Stretching the back.
And now go ahead and come into that cow one more time, tucking the toes under. And this time go ahead and walk the hands in and try to kind of press a little bit of weight back, stretching along the toes, the bottoms of the feet. This can be intense, so if you don't feel like you can go any farther than this, you can stay right here, keeping more weight forward. If you can, try to come up, taking the heels onto, taking the hips onto the heels as much as you can, a little bit of weight right there. So just stay right here, stretching the bottoms of the feet. Breathe as much as you can while we're here to distract us from the pain in our feet. We're going to do a few wrist circles. Remember, if this is too intense, just take those hands to the floor and shift forward. So circle those wrists around a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Wiggle out the fingers. Last thing we're going to do here before we come out is reach the hands up, and you're going to flick your fingers on the ceiling. Think about flicking out through those fingers all the tension in your body. Tension, 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 let it go. Flick those hands up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Go ahead and bring the arms down. Come forward and take your hands down. Release the feet and go ahead and tap or smack the tops of your feet on the mat. Just giving them a little reset button. And then you can go ahead and pull, point and flexing the feet a couple times, circling out the feet. Just giving those feet a little bit of love. That's a real important stretch, but I know for some of us that have arthritis in the feet or stuff going on our toes, it's not really comfortable. So just do what you can. And coming back to that tabletop. So once you're here, I want you to take the knees closer together, knees and feet closer together, touching if that works. And take the hips to one side and really look over the opposite shoulder, and then come through center and switch sides. Just lazy little movement side to side, getting into the hip. And then you can kind of push the hips back a little bit to the heels like you're moving into child's pose, and do the same on the other side. Lean to one side and then taking that hip back. One more time each side. And last one. Coming back to center. Go ahead and take one foot back. Take your right foot back and press, tuck the toes under and really press, getting a stretch in that right calf. You can drop the heel out towards the right and see how that changes that stretch a little bit. And then you can do the opposite where you turn the toes to the side and press back. Coming back to center, walk the hands a little bit further forward to get just a little bit more leverage, a little more traction, and really press back into that right heel. And from here, you're going to press off the back foot, lift the back leg, and come forward into a little mini chaturanga. If you want to ground that forehead, you can, and then slowly push up and lower that foot down and press back into that heel, stretching that calf. 2 more like this. Really engage the belly, make sure the elbows stay close to the body, only lower as far as is comfortable for you. Again, lifting the leg, coming forward, a little mini chaturanga, and then push back up and lower that foot, push through that heel. Last one of these, so remember really engaging the belly, feeling nice and strong, lowering only as far as is comfortable for you, coming down, and then back up.
Lower that foot down and bring the legs in. So once you get the legs in, readjust the hands if you took them a little bit further forward. If it feels better to you to do that, it does for me. And once you get here, take the feet apart outside the mat and just try pushing the hips a little bit back with the feet outside. It's like you're moving into a little bit of a hero, but not going all the way back. And do a couple more like that, just kind of pressing the hips back. See how it feels to have the feet outside the hips a little bit. And one more time. See if you can have a brief little hold right here, maybe coming up onto the fingertips. Just see how it feels to kind of sink those hips back with those feet a little bit wider. You can always shift forward a little bit if you need to. And once you're here, go ahead and see if you can release the head forward, relax the head forward. You can kind of roll the ear over towards one shoulder on an inhale, and then exhale, kind of roll the ear over to the other shoulder, and back to center. And slowly from here, pull forward. This time when you come forward, take both feet back, moving into a plank. Holding that plank nice and strong, really keeping the belly button to the spine, pushing through those heels. Nice and strong here. See if you can lower yourself super slowly onto your belly. When you get all the way down here, go ahead and roll the shoulders forward and back, keeping the shoulder blades pulled together, elbows in. Just inhale for a little baby cobra. Exhale, lower the forehead down. Now take the hands outside the mat, templing out the fingers. And this time you're going to press up, slowly come up, and exhale, lower one cheek to the mat, and inhale through center, and opposite cheek down. One more time. This time you're going to lower one shoulder with the cheek down, look over the other shoulder. Inhale through center, and exhale, other shoulder drops, looking over the opposite one. Back to center, last one. Offering that heart as much as you can, staying out of the low back. And exhale, come all the way down, forehead to the mat. Bring the hands back in, spreading those palms, elbows close to the body. Engage the core, really get yourself set to press up and back. We're going to hold a brief little child's pose. So knees wide apart, you can have your hands in front, lower your forehead to the mat, or you can stack the hands and have your forehead resting on the palms. Just hold it here. Take some big inhales and exhales. Breathing into the back body. I want you to imagine that your next inhale starts at the tailbone, and imagine that your inhale is that bright white light of energy, your Sushumna breath. And imagine with your next breath, you move that white light from the tailbone all the way up the spine to the top of the head. Feeling that energy pulsing, moving, vibrating all the way up that spine to the top of the head. And then feel it move back down with your exhale, coming all the way back down the spine, moving through any blockages, stuck spots, stale spots, coming all the way back down to the tailbone. And 2 more breaths like that. Really feeling yourself grounded, calm, with all those contact points on the floor. Feeling safe and secure in that child's pose. Next inhale is going to move all the way up the spine. That white light of energy, that Sushumna breath. Coming up, ending at the top of the head, the crown of the head. And when you're ready to exhale, just feel it move right back down the spine. And all the way at the bottom, when you get there, we have 1 more breath here. So last inhale starts at the tailbone, moves all the way up the spine. You can even imagine some warmth, some heat with that light if you like. And your exhale moves all the way back down the spine, back down to the tailbone where it started. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring the hands forward and slowly pull yourself back into that tabletop position. Once you're in that tabletop position, go ahead and send the left foot back and press. You can take your hands a little bit forward if you like and press into the left calf. Stretching the left calf this time. You can let the heel drop to the floor, turning the foot out to the side, noticing if that changes the stretch at all. And when you're ready, switch and move the other way. Let the foot roll out and notice kind of how that may or may not change that stretch. And back to center, last little press here into that left calf, left heel. Trying to press through the whole heel, making sure you're taking that weight evenly between the ball of the foot and the outside of the foot. And we're going to do that same thing we did last time, so adjust yourself on the mat where your hands are probably a little bit forward of the shoulders. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale, lift that back leg, come forward, nice strong core, lowering yourself only as far as you're comfortable, and then slowly inhaling up and lowering that back foot and pressing through that back heel. 2 more like that, only coming as far forward as is comfortable for you. You can stop anywhere you need to. And lower that foot down, press through that heel. Last one of these, very last one. When you're ready, inhale forward and exhale. Inhale, pushing back up. Last little press with that foot. And bring that leg forward. Okay, so hands stay where they are. We're going to step back, plank, and then downward facing dog. So go ahead in your down dog and just take a minute, kind of get set through the hands and the feet, adjusting the distance between the two. So you can always take the feet a little bit forward, see how that feels, or take the feet a little bit further back. You kind of want to find that place where you can take the weight evenly between the hands and the feet, or in a way that makes it possible for you to hold this pose. Lift and lower the heels a few times. And then I want you to keep the heels up and bend the knees to hover just above the mat. Lift them up, sink the heels. 2 more like that. Lift the heels, sink the knees, lift and lower. 1 more time. Lift, lower, up, and down. Last little hold right here. And then from here, slowly, I want you to take the feet about 1 foot size forward, shortening that down dog, really feeling a stretch in the back of the legs, making this a little stronger through the back body. And from here, walk forward again, about the size of your foot. Even shorter. And 1 more time, walk forward. And this time, go ahead and bring the hands into where you're in a forward fold this time. And just go ahead and allow your body to relax down the legs, keeping a bend in the knees if that feels better for you. Rock forward into the balls of the feet, or maybe back into the heels. And you can play around with kind of moving, rolling side to side, swinging the arms. You can tuck your hands in your elbows and just allow the upper body to sink forward. Playing with how you have the weight in the body. Try taking a little more weight in the balls of the feet, having a little lightness in the heels, see how that feels. And you can also play around with taking the weight way back. You can have the hands in front for leverage. If you want to straighten one leg, and with one leg straight, you can kind of do a little bit of an easy side to side rock or sway. And same on the other side when you're ready. Always acknowledging that you have the freedom to play around in every pose. Make this your class. Make this work for you. Don't be afraid to kind of experiment and play around in each pose, changing subtle little things to see if they make that pose feel a little bit different. Maybe better, maybe not. And from here, go ahead and inhale into a flat back, feeling long from the tailbone all the way up the spine to the top of the head, looking down at the floor so you're not looking forward. You want to avoid crunching the back of the neck. Belly bend to spine to support the low back. And from here, exhale all the way down. Inhale, roll up nice and slow, coming all the way up to standing. And when you get all the way up to standing, we're going to do a couple of shoulder rolls with our breath. So inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, feel the shoulder blades and the shoulders sink down the back. 2 more times. Inhale, roll them forward and up. Exhale, all the way down. 1 more time. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, all the way down. And just stay here for a moment. So this is Tadasana Mountain Pose. You have a lot of options with your feet. You can try taking the big toe mounds together and heels have a little bit of space. You can take your feet a little bit apart, a lot apart. It's really how it feels best to you, how you feel balanced and how you feel that the muscles of your body are really helping hug and support your joints so that your joints aren't doing all the work. You want to have a feeling of that muscular engagement of the legs, weight balanced nice and evenly in the feet so that your body, your muscles, and your joints are all working together for that stability in your body without feeling locked or rigid anywhere, especially through the knees or any other joints. So just take a moment and I want you to kind of shift your weight all the way into 1 foot. Really feel all your weight into that 1 foot. Notice if you're all the way in the heel or maybe you need to move a little bit forward, taking some weight in the ball of the foot. Grounding through that 1 foot, really feeling heavy in that 1 foot. And then slowly shifting over to the other foot, same thing here. Really noticing how your weight is balanced in this foot. Do you need to shift a little bit forward? Is it all in the heel? Maybe it's all in the ball of the foot and you need to move a little bit back. But really focus, and if it helps you to do that, close your eyes and really dial into how your weight feels like it's distributed in your foot. And make any little subtle adjustments of your weight to get to where you feel grounded in the whole foot. And then back to center. And then notice if you feel a little bit different in this pose from when you started. Do you feel a little bit more centered, grounded, stable in all 4 corners of both feet? And from here, I want you to inhale, take the arms up. Reach up, stretch up, come off of the heels onto the balls of your feet. Come all the way up here, hold it here, and I want you to go halfway down and halfway up. All the way up. 2 more times. Lower halfway, inhale, lift. Last time, lower halfway, inhale, lift. Last little hold up here. Find that focal point, that drishti spot. Helps with your balance. And exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms, dive into your fold. Once you get all the way in your fold, I want you to inhale to a flat back, reach forward, and exhale, lower all the way down. From here, you're going to step your right foot back and have your feet train track so they're about shoulder width apart. Back foot is pointing forward. It can be slightly turned out, but I don't want it turned out very much. I really want your hips squared more towards the front of the mat because we're moving into Parsvottanasana. If you cannot get your fingers to the floor and keep the front knee straight, bend the front knee, that's fine. So with the front knee bent, from here, But even though it's bent, you're still pressing both feet into the floor and engaging the legs. So there's the action of pressing the legs straight, even if your legs do not get all the way straight. So keeping that action, I want you to slowly inhale, take the arms out to the side. And inhale, take the palms overhead. So try to kind of watch the flaring of the ribs. You're engaging the glute right here to really keep yourself strong in the legs. From here, exhale, swan dive, and come back down to where we started. Remember, bending that front knee if you need to. 2 more like that, really engaging the legs, inhaling the arms kind of in an airplane before you slowly come up. Hands together overhead, and exhale, dive over that front leg. Last time. Inhale, arms wide, coming all the way up. Now staying up, you're going to take one hand down the back leg, the other hand is going to stay reaching up, and just look at that back foot. Engaging the glute here, feeling strong and stable in the legs. Now take that front hand forward, other hand back. Trying to still keep the hips. The hips are really staying towards the front as much as they can. Most of the turn is coming through the waist. Grounding through the big toe of that back foot. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, opposite direction. Just do what you can. If you've got shoulder stuff and you can't really take the arm all the way back, that's okay. You can always have the arm relax down towards the floor. Inhale the arms overhead. This time you're going to exhale forward and come down halfway and reach forward, engaging the legs to keep the legs strong, belly button to the spine, keeping the core nice and strong. Inhale the arms to the side into that airplane, and then exhale forward again. 2 more times. Inhale to the side, exhale forward. Last one. Inhale side, exhale forward. Last little hold here, and then release the hands back and just interlace the hands behind and see if you can just pour yourself down that front leg. Feeling really stable right here. If you don't feel stable, go ahead and take the fingertips to the floor and hold this with the fingertips to the floor. This is fine. Other option, interlacing the hands back, allowing the arms to release overhead, and just letting yourself come forward any amount that you can. Still active and strong in those legs. And release the hands to the small of the back, come up halfway. And exhale, fingertips down, just relax into that fold. You can have a tiny little rock in the hips and just see how that changes the stretch in the butt. Remember, the front leg can be bent if it needs to be. And last little hold right here. Carefully walk both hands outside that front foot. Grounding through that big toe mound, hands outside the front foot. So last little hold here. And coming back to center, framing that front foot, carefully bend that foot, take that leg back, moving into your downward facing dog. From your down dog, pour yourself forward into your plank. And once you get in your plank, lower yourself, brief pause in your hover, and come all the way down to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Coming up any amount that you can. And exhale, lower down. Press into the mat. Tuck the toes under, really feeling strong through that whole mid-body. Pushing straight up. Knees can stay down or up. Back to your downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, right toes rise, left heel sinks down. From here, knee comes to the elbow. And inhale up. Right knee comes to the nose, pull it up and in. And lift that leg up and across, knee to elbow, or whatever you can touch. Lift that leg back up. Go ahead and bring the right foot through, coming into your high lunge. From here, slowly bring the arms up and just kind of sink here, pressing the back leg straight. Even if it doesn't get there, that's fine. And pulling the front ribs down, watching that rib flare. And a lot of times it'll help the rib flare to keep the arms down. So when you take your arms up, if those ribs flare, keep the hands, palms together in front or on your hips as a little reminder to be careful with that. From here, I want you to do a little lean, and you can have your hands down if that helps, little lean to the right, and come through center, little lean to the left. And back to center. Last little hold right here. Trying to keep the shoulders over the hips. Really feeling it in the front of that left hip flexor. And from here, slowly, if your hands are on your hips or your palms are together here, wherever they are, bring the hands down and slowly start to take the arms back as you push up on the back toes and reach forward, leaning forward into a little mini ski jump. From here, lower the left hand, pivot into that revolved side angle. Exhale, lower the hand, push off the back foot, lift it up, forward fold with a split. You can stay here or turn the back toes to the side, coming into your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Grounding through that front foot, front leg. Strong in that front leg. You can always keep the front knee bent if you need to. Look up at the ceiling if you feel pretty stable. If you don't, keep looking at the floor like me. Exhale, lower the left hand, reach back with the right hand and capture the foot. From here, you can lift that leg a little bit up behind, and you're gonna lower and sink and touch the shin to the back of the right calf and lift that leg back up. Lower, you can also pick up the front heel if you like, and lift, and one more time. And lift. And release that back foot, bring it down to the floor, feet about hip width apart wherever you like. And just take a minute, kind of shake out those legs, shake it out. You can kind of bounce on the heels if you want to, move between heel, ball of the foot, and kind of tap out the toes. Just try to really shake that out. From here, inhale, flat back. Exhale, lower. Take those arms wide. I always look weird with my head because I'm afraid I'm going to hit this. Inhale, take the arms overhead. And exhale, all the way down. So go ahead and grab your block. I have two different ones, those are taller, so grab your block or your book, if you have it, and place it on your mat. Go ahead and take your right foot onto the block, and you see if you can get the ball of your foot onto it. Remember, blanket, block, book, whatever you have is fine. And from here, you're gonna have the back foot, so your feet are about hip width apart, hips are squared towards that block or that book. And from here, and remember, you can always just have the toes on, but see if you can get the ball of the foot on. From here, inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, you're gonna slowly come forward. If you need to, you can brace your hands on the shin, not on the knee. You can take your fingertips to the block or take your fingertips to the floor. And I want you to kind of lean forward and lean back. Notice how when you lean forward, it's much stronger in that calf. So just do what you can. You can also play with a little bit of side-to-side movement here. That can also change where you feel that stretch. See if you can allow the crown of the head to relax down to the floor where you're not looking forward. You're looking back at your legs. So find a spot where you're really feeling a strong stretch in that calf and hold it there. Hold it and breathe. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh all the way out. And again, big inhale. Big sigh all the way out. One more time. Big breath in. Big sigh all the way out. And slowly pressing the foot into the block. See if you can come all the way back up to standing. Take the arm overhead. Arms, not your one arm, your both arms. Overhead and exhale, come all the way down. So release the foot from the block. Just take the block and push it slightly forward out of your way. And just take a minute and kind of just shake out those legs, shake them out. And then before we do anything else, stand in your Tadasana mountain pose, close your eyes, and just notice if you feel a difference between the side you've stretched versus the side you've done that stretch. So kind of process for a moment the difference between one side versus another. And from here, inhale, take the arms overhead, reach up. And exhale, dive into that fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lower. This time the left foot is going to go back. So again, train tracking the legs. Left foot steps back. The distance between your feet really depends on how long your legs are. So you're going to have to make this work for you. You want to feel like both feet are solidly on the mat. So I know you can't see that foot, so I'm going to move my block, but remember both feet are solidly down on the floor. So adjust your feet as you need to. Front leg is moving towards straight. The action of straightening the leg, even if it's not straight, is fine. So engaging both legs, feeling strong in both legs. Take the arms wide and overhead. Remember, try to watch the flare in the ribs, kind of engaging the glute, that left glute, to really keep the hips stable and strong. Right in position under the shoulders. From here, exhale, swan dive forward. Fingertips to the floor. Remember that front knee can always bend if it needs to. It's just the action of keeping it straight. Let go, inhale, arms wide into that airplane. Come up, reaching those arms overhead. And from here, exhale, swan dive into your fold. One more. Inhale, take those arms out and up. Exhale, come forward. Come back up. And this time you're going to take your left arm forward, your right arm back, trying to keep the hips right where they are. So the motion, the turn is from the waist. You can always keep the back arm down if your shoulder bothers you. From here, inhale the arms up and exhale other way. Grounding through the big toe of that left foot, back leg. And inhale the arms up. Exhale, start to lean forward and come forward, reaching the arms in front. Belly button to spine, really strong in the legs. From here, you're going to inhale the arms to the side in your airplane, and exhale, bring them forward. Inhale, airplane. Exhale, forward. One more time. Inhale into that airplane. Exhale, forward. Hold it here. Strong legs. Slowly take the hands behind you. Interlace the hands behind. If you can, you're going to slowly lift the hands up and pour yourself down the leg. Remember, if you don't feel stable, take the fingertips to the floor, and you can soften the front knee. Whichever works better for you is fine. Just hold it here and breathe, staying strong and engaged through both legs. Trying to release the crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale slowly to a flat back. And exhale, release the hands to the floor. Release yourself down. Last little hold here. You can do an easy little sway with the hips side to side if that feels okay for you. Just be careful. Back to center, deep breath in. As you exhale, carefully bend the front leg a little more and step that front foot back, stepping both feet back, coming into your downward dog. From down dog, pull forward through a plank. Nice and strong in that plank. Come into your hover if you like, or come all the way down and then lower yourself all the way onto your mat, flattening the tops of your feet. Come into a Sphinx pose here. So you're on the elbows and your hands can be palms up or the blades of the hands can be down, either way. And once you get here, I want you to sink into, like let the shoulders drop back into the sockets and let your head come towards the floor. And from here, come up a little bit, inhale, look forward. Pressing the elbows into the floor, so the elbows are pressing down and they're pulling a little bit back. It's a traction thing down and then a little bit where the elbows are pulled back to the ribs, so you're getting a little bit of space. And that's fine, and then exhale, sink into the shoulders. Shoulders drop into the sockets, drop your head forward. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Slowly, keeping yourself grounding through the feet and the hips. Just roll your ear towards one shoulder, and if it feels better to come up out of that sink, it's fine. And then let your chin come through center, other way. So you're kind of halfway, you're not pushed way up, but you're not sinking way down, you're kind of in the middle, sort of in a neutral place. And then just let your ear kind of move to one shoulder at a time, sinking the chin towards the chest. In between, one more each side. And last time, coming back to center. Slowly lower yourself down towards the mat, bringing the hands by your sides. So remember, the elbows stay squeezed in close, shoulders are kind of pulled down, so you're getting space actually through the neck. From here, you're going to tuck the toes under, and having that sense of engagement through that core, feeling strong, I want you to push up and moving back into that downward dog. Again, making any adjustments in your down dog that you need to so that you feel comfortable here, and then go ahead and lift the left leg up, left toes rise while the right heel sinks, and bring the left knee to the left elbow. And then slowly lift it up and back. Knee to nose, lift it up and back. And knee to opposite elbow, up and back. And then go ahead and bring that foot through, coming into your high lunge on the other side. So coming all the way up. So remember, once you get all the way up, kind of take the time to make sure the shoulders are staying over the hips. Arms up. If you have the rib flare, you can bring the hands back down to the hips or palms together in front. Either way, hold it right here, pressing through the right right heel, the right leg, moving it towards straight even if it doesn't get straight. If it doesn't, it's probably because of a tight psoas. So that's why it's important to kind of keep the ribs down. From here, slowly lean to the left a little bit, maintaining that balance. Come to center, lean a little bit to the right. Back to center. Holding it here. Last little adjustment. Take your hands down, reaching down towards the floor, one hand up, the other hand comes down, and switch sides. Keep the hand back that's back there. Let the other hand join and roll forward onto the tiptoes, leaning forward, coming into those ski jump arms. Slowly, carefully lower the right hand to the floor, right palm. Take the left hand up, revolved side angle. Still stand strong in that right leg. Exhale, lower the hand. From here, you're going to push off the back leg, lift it up behind, forward fold split. You can stay right here or have the left hand down, turn the back toes, the right toes to the right, take the right hand up. Hold it right here. You can look up if you feel stable or keep your gaze on the ground. Slowly lower the right hand. Reach back with the left hand and grab the foot. And you can lift the foot up a little bit if you can. From here, lower the front leg, so you're bending the front knee. Shin comes to the back of the calf and lift the leg back up. 2 more if you want a little extra balance challenge. Lift that bottom heel, the left heel up. Hopefully a better balance than me. And lift that foot back up. And last time, so bring the chin towards the calf. Lift the heel if you like. And bring it up. Carefully release that back foot and take your foot to the floor. From here, relax, hands into the elbows. Just allow yourself to soften, shift side to side. Just relax. You can shake out the legs if you want to do that. You can even reach back and pat your legs. Hips, tell them good job. They've been working hard for you. And just go ahead and try to tap insides, outsides of the legs, front, wherever you can. Remember, this is not a punishment. It's a good job tap. And coming up into a flat back. Reaching forward through the crown of the head, allowing yourself to pull out of the shoulders. Belly button to the spine. And exhale forward. Soften the knees, roll up. All the way up to standing when you get all the way up. Standing up nice and tall. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, all the way down. Go ahead and grab your block again. We're going to do the calf stretch on the other side. So have the block on your mat towards the front. And now you're going to take your left foot onto the block. Other foot is back. So the feet are staggered, train tracked. So it's not like they're staggered like that. I mean, one foot is in front, but you still have the hip width between both feet. So ball the front foot is on the block. Hips are squared towards the front, towards that block. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, dive, coming forward. So hands can come to the shin. Hands can come to the block or to the floor. So once you get here, I want you to remember, shift forward. You can lift the back heel up a little bit and shift back. Walk the hands forward a little bit if you can. And or back. You can have a little bit of movement side to side. And you can always like center your foot on that block. Like mine was kind of off to the outside, so I'm just adjusting my feet because it's really easier to have your foot in the center of the block so it doesn't tip the block. So kind of move around, find that spot where I would jokingly say you feel it in your teeth. Allow the crown of the head to drop to the floor. Hold this spot and breathe. Big inhale. Big sigh. All the way out. And again, big breath in. Big sigh. Last one. Big inhale. Big sigh. Let it go. Slowly, carefully, pressing into the block and into the ground. Allow yourself to come up. Taking the arms overhead, reach up. And exhale, arms all the way down. Release your foot from the block. You can set the block forward or off to the side. In fact, I'm going to move it so you can see my feet. And just take a moment in that Tadasana mountain pose. And close your eyes and just check in and notice how it feels to have done both sides. You can turn the palms forward if you like. Just hold it here and breathe, enjoying having done both sides. And from here, I want you to inhale your right arm out to the side. Take your left foot in the opposite direction. Hold it here. And I want you to circle this foot a few times while you're circling the wrist. See if you can go in opposite directions, foot and wrist going the other way. And then you're going to bring the foot and the hand forward and take it back. Bring it forward, back, one more time. Now you're going to turn the palm around to go back and press the foot and the hand back and come forward. Foot, hand, back, forward, last time. Now last little hold here, I'm going to have you turn the palm up, point the toes, lean a little bit further, hold it here. Now you're going to slowly lower the leg and shift, bring the opposite heel up, reach the arm overhead, and then come back out to the side. Hand and leg reach to the side. Slowly lower that leg, lean into that leg, lift the other heel. Little side opener. And last time. Slowly lower and reach. Coming all the way up and lowering the arm. Both feet are flat on the floor. And it's okay if your feet end up a little bit further apart. That's okay too. So from here, take your arms to the side, kind of soften the knees a little bit, and I want you to reach as far as you can to one side, come through center far as you can to the other side. And 2 more times each side. Last one. Now lower your right hand, left hand stays. We're going to do the same thing other side. So shift, taking that right leg out to the side. Now holding it here, you're going to circle the leg and see if you can do the wrist the opposite direction. It's just a weird little brain teaser. And then switch. Now hold it here, palm forward. You're going to pull the foot forward and the hand forward and then bring it back. So it's like the belly button comes to the spine. It's a little bit of a scoop. And bring it back one more time. Now you're going to turn the palm back and push back. And back to center, push back, center, one more time. Hold it right here. Now turn this palm back up. You're going to slowly lower this foot down, lift the heel on the other foot and lean away from the heel that you're lifting up. And bring the hand back down. Sink back onto the heel and take the leg out to the side. Slowly with control, this is some balance work here. And stretch. One more time. Coming out. Lift. And lower that leg. And reach. Coming back to center. Go ahead and take your feet apart. Turn the feet out. Sink into your goddess pose right here. So make sure the knees track with the feet and ankles. So if your knees are way in, you need to turn your feet forward slightly because you don't want your knees to be way out of line with the ankles. And you can drop as low as you choose. It's just really a comfort thing how you feel best. From here, inhale the arms overhead. Palms together, make your little spout here. Arms can be straight or bent, it's whatever feels better for you. So from here, I want you to lean to the left, come through center, lean to the right. Really pushing those hips open. Now, next time you lean, I want you to go ahead and come all the way down. Circle down and come up the other side. Now go back that same way. Yes, now this time you're going to come straight forward, sink into the hips, reach the hands forward, and inhale, come up a little bit. 2 more times, come forward, sink the hips, reach the hands forward, inhale, lift. Last time. Go ahead and belly button to spine, release the hands to the legs, lower one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, and use this hand to kind of gently press that knee open. Open up that inner thigh, that adductor. On that left side, come through center, switch other side. We're using that hand to gently press that knee open to stretch that inner thigh. Back to center, sink. Gently pressing the knees open, sinking the hips. You can do a teeny little shift. And slowly lift all the way up into your star. Turn the feet forward, reach, look up. And from here, exhale, reach across, going outside of your right foot. Hold it here. Walk through center, outside the opposite foot. Back to center, heels come in, heel toe the feet in until you can drop into your Malasana. So if you need to keep your heels up, that's okay too. More of a toe stand is fine. In order to get upright, I do better off of my heels. I have to take my feet out pretty wide to get into my Malasana. So everybody, you do what works for you. If you need to have your feet wider apart, if you need to have the heels up, that's fine. I want you to try to have your palms together, chest lifted, and try to really sink through those hips. You're still releasing the heels down to the floor, even if they're up a little bit. Really trying to relax those hips down. And you can always do just a squat and not drop all the way low. If this is not in your practice to do any type of Malasana, it's fine. Just do what you can. Lower the left hand down, take the right hand inside the thigh and just gently press it open a little bit. Look over the shoulder. And come to center, switch sides. And last little hold right here. Taking the hands inside, the knees into the elbows, just gently encouraging those legs to open up a little bit. And go ahead and release. Carefully start to lower your hips. Take your hands back and just drop onto your hips. I'm going to turn to the side. So take the legs in front and you can kind of pull the flesh out from under your sits bones. Just take a minute and kind of shake out the legs. You can rock the feet side to side. You can do a little circle with the feet, keeping the heels down. And from here, coming back to center, we're going to do a forward fold over the legs and some upward tabletops. So starting in your Dandasana, your seated staff, I want you to press the palms into the floor, lift the back and the front ribs, pull the shoulders down. You can have your feet hip width apart or closer, it's really up to you. Feeling nice and long. Deep breath in. As you exhale, come down the legs. So remember, you can bend the legs a little or a lot, reaching down for the feet, the legs, whatever you can get a hold of. Just hold it here and try to relax forward. You can have a little rock. If movement is soothing to you, that's fine. Try to flex the feet. And I want you to keep one toes flexed back while the other foot presses forward. Really getting that strong flex on the side that's flexed, strong point on the other side, and then carefully switch. And go ahead, flex both feet. Last little hold here with both feet flexed. And then point both feet. And then slowly release that, come all the way up. Plant your hands behind you, fingers pointing into the hips. Bend the legs. And you want to have, you don't want to have your feet in really close, because when you lift your hips, if your feet are in too close, then you're going to have your knees way out in front of the toes, which is what you don't want. So from here, I want you to press, ground through those palms, ground through the feet, lift the hips coming into that tabletop. And you can always take the feet further forward if it feels like you need to do that. So once you get here, just lift. Try to really lift the hips, open up, or look up. And exhale, bring the hips in between the hands, sink those hips down, release the hands, take them up. And exhale, lower down the legs. So remember, you can have the knees pretty bent if you need to. You can have them, seriously, almost like a seated happy baby if you want. Or you can have them longer, it is up to you. Just come out over the legs however you can. And if you want a little change, try taking the legs closer together and reaching for the outside of the opposite feet. A little cross bind, and hold it here. And slowly inhale, release, coming all the way up. Hands behind you. This time we're going to do an upward plank instead of an upward tabletop. So you can have one leg bent or both legs straight. We're going to do it 2 times. So if you have your leg bent, we'll hit both sides. So I'm going to start with my right leg bent. Lift, look up. And exhale, lower. If you had one leg bent, go ahead and switch sides. If you didn't, you're just going to do it one more time with the leg straight. And inhale, lift. Pressing through those palms, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Trying not to let one hip drop, keep the hips level. And exhale, lower all the way down. Extend the legs. Bring the hands forward. Just kind of open and close the hands. Roll out those hands. And we're going to head down to the floor to do a little bit of ab work on the floor, and then we'll move towards our Shavasana here in a little bit. So go ahead and take your time lowering yourself onto your mat bit by bit with control. And when you're almost all the way down, in what I would call a low boat, hold it here. Lift one leg. And exhale, lower that leg, other side. And now see if you can do both. And I want you to tap heel toe. For 3, 2, last one. Last little hold right here. And lower all the way down. Big stretch through the whole body. Reach. And exhale, just relax. Just let your legs come maybe towards opposite corners. And turn your palms to face up. You can pull the shoulder blades down. And just take a quick little mini Shavasana. We're moving in that direction. We're not quite there. So just kind of allow your body. I want you to feel that energetic hum, that low-level hum, throb in the body. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat through your back. Just take a moment and feel all that energy that you've created with your movement, with your practice. And when you're ready, walk the feet in. And you can go ahead and pull the knees into your chest. We'll give the low back a little love before we do the next thing I want to do. So just kind of roll around on the spine, massaging the low back, kind of moving the knees in a circle. You can always just rock side to side if you want to. You can pull the knees just right into the chest, squeezing them if you like. Just kind of give that low back a little bit of love. And one more hug, kind of making yourself tiny like a ball. Head comes towards the knees. And release the feet down. So take the soles of the feet together, knees open, for a bound angle here. So I want you to press the blades of the feet into the floor and kind of press the feet together and really squeeze enough to lift the hips up off of the floor. So it's a bound angle, but you're lifting the hips up. Keeping the hips up, I want you to bring the knees up a little bit higher and then release the knees back down. And bring the knees up a little bit. Really using those glutes and open, relax. One more time. Knees together a little bit. And then release. Really keeping those hips up, squeezing, lifting up as high as you can. Ribs stay down. And I want you just to rock side to side, keeping the hips off the floor. Little rock. Yeah, last one. Coming back to center, last little squeeze, lift up. And lower the hips all the way down. Go ahead and bring the knees up and together and take the feet apart and let the knees drop towards each other in a knock-knee position to release the sacrum and the low back. Just breathe into the lowest part of your belly. Breathe into the pelvic floor. Breathe into the front of the hips, the deep hip flexors, the psoas. Breathe into the sides. Breathe into the low back, the tailbone. Big inhale, opening into that whole low, low, low spine. And exhale with a sigh, all the way out. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale, all the way out. Last one, breathe in. Exhale, let it go, all the way out. And go ahead and lift one knee out of the way and let that other knee kind of drop a little bit lower to the ground. And just do a really lazy windshield wiper here a couple times, side to side. Just a lazy little rock of the knees from one side to the other. Back to center, and go ahead and last little release of the knees together and gently press them a little bit towards each other and down, creating a little bit of space between your lumbar spine, a little bit of space between the vertebra, the sacrum, SI joints, giving them a little bit of love. And then release the knees, heel toe the feet back in, and bring the legs in to the chest, and go ahead and bend and straighten both legs a few times. So just bend and straighten both legs. And then hold the legs straight and just rock the legs towards you. And then grab the wrists or the hands behind the legs and just hold the legs suspended in space. If you need to, you can make a little latch with your fingers, a little bind right here. If you want to, rock side to side. Look up between see if you can get space between your toes, both toes. And then release those toes, wiggle out those feet. Last little hold here. You can keep the hold on the legs if your legs like that support, or you can release the legs, see if they'll still stay up here, and reach the hands up. And just see if you can allow your hands, your arms, your legs, your feet to be suspended in space for a few breaths. Just kind of letting that old stale stuff that gravity pulls to the edge of your fingertips into your feet, kind of do a little recirculation or recalibrating of where gravity tends to always be pulling stuff, pooling, right, whatever's closest to the ground. Take a big inhale through the nose. Big sigh, all the way out. 2 more times, breathe in. Exhale, sigh, all the way out. 1 more time, breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Let it go. Go ahead and release, bend the legs, hug those knees in. You can do your happy baby here if you like. Knees. Make sure the shoulders are still kind of grounding or pulling into socket. Don't let the legs pull the shoulders way out of the socket. You can do that bound angle here if you like, if you want to. Whatever last little poses, last little stretches sound good to you. And then we're moving into our Shavasana. So whenever you are ready, grab whatever props or little comfort things that you would like to have and start to get yourself situated into the Shavasana position of your choice. If you like corpse pose, that's fine, you can do that. Legs out from the body, palms up. You can kind of pull the shoulder blades down the back to give some space for the neck. You can support the neck if you choose. Legs are out apart. Relax the feet. And any little goodies that you need, if you want to put your legs, have your legs in a chair, legs on the edge of the sofa, legs over a bolster, a pillow. Just take the time to get comfortable. I'm coming up, but you guys stay where you are. And whenever you get situated in that position that you have chosen to relax into, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and imagine that you can flip a switch in your body to turn off. So all effort, all the trying, all of the movement has led you to this moment in time. This is your dessert. This is your reward. This is your time for a much needed rest in the body. The body needs time to process the stretches. So surrender the effort, surrender the trying, surrender the doing, and just shift into a state of being, noticing, observing. So let your breath settle into its own rhythm, not trying to breathe a certain way. Allow your body to just bit by bit peel away the layers of resistance to the surrender and just feel your body becoming a little bit heavier with each exhale. All the contact points along the back body are being pulled into gravity. Surrender to that pull. And to balance that, you feel light and open across the front body. Open to expand, open to space, light. And see if you can sit in this Shavasana, in this breath, in this moment, without trying to fix it, change it, without your mind shifting and going off somewhere. See if you can just be present, mindful in this Shavasana. would like more time in this Shavasana, then feel free to take that for yourself. I encourage you to. So just go ahead and mute me, mute my voice, pause the video, and take as much time as you need for your Shavasana. If you are ready to move out, and just slowly take a moment and just notice your body. Beginning from the base of your spine, from your tailbone, inhale, imagining that white light again, and feeling that white light move up the spine. That's Sushumna breath. You can feel the heat with that if you like. Just feel it moving up the spine with your inhale, bringing healing, warmth, all the way up to the top of the head. And then when you're ready, your exhale moves it right back down the spine. Feeling that warmth and that healing light penetrate deep into the spine, what we call the river of life. Healing and bringing some sense of balance back into that energy, those energy channels up and down the spine. And two more like that. Inhaling from the base of the spine up to the top. Feeling that warm white light moving with the breath. And when you're ready, exhaling it back down. Creating a little energetic loop up and down the spine. And last time, feeling it move all the way up. And your exhale moves all the way back down. And as it comes down to the bottom, feel that tailbone grounding, rooting into the floor. It's almost as if you're absorbing that energy from the earth, that calming, grounding, centering energy is coming right into the body. And feeling it spread out from that river of life, from that spine, everywhere into the whole body. Just take a moment, notice your body on a physical level. Noticing your subtle, energetic body. The mind, the breath. And I want you to think about wrapping that awareness, that mindfulness, that attention around your body just like a warm blanket or like a force field, so that you take it with you when you leave. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in. If you like, stretch long in the whole body. And as you exhale, roll over onto the side of your choice. Curling up on that side, taking a moment. Giving yourself a little invisible hug. Appreciating your body and all it does for you, your physical body. Appreciating the mind, the will to do something for yourself. And when you're ready on your next inhale, carefully push yourself up, coming into a sitting or kneeling position. Bringing the hands together in front of the chest, in front of the heart. And from here, inhale, take the hands up, look up, reach up. And as you exhale, slide the thumbs from the crown of the head all the way down the front, across the forehead, the nose, the lips, down the throat, to the chest, to the heart, and with the thumbs right on that heart.
giving yourself all the love and affection that you give away to everybody else. Remember to give some, to save some back for yourself. It all begins with self-love. You can only share love with others if you've taken care of yourself, loved yourself first. And with that love, bow your head forward towards your fingers. Eyes open, slowly adjust to light and color. And when you're ready, lift your head all the way up. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for the flow and ground practice. I hope that you have an awesome day, and I hope that you are staying healthy and happy at home. We miss you guys. I say it all the time. I still do. I mean, we do. We miss you guys. We miss seeing your sweet little faces. We hope to be able to practice with you in person soon. But until then, just know that we will keep bringing you as many online classes as we can. And we hope that you are taking advantage of them at home and working on your home practice, which is important right now. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you have an awesome day, and I hope to see you guys in person soon. So take care of yourselves.